Chosen one. Listen carefully. This moment is not an accident. Heaven itself is breaking through the noise to speak directly into your spirit. You have been searching for a sign, a confirmation, a door that was meant only for you. And now, the call is awakening within you. You feel it, don't you? That pull in your chest, that unseen hand drawing you away from the ordinary. The world calls it intuition, but in truth, it is the voice of God reminding you of your original design. You were never born to blend in. You were marked, set apart, created for a season of breakthrough. The Word of God declares in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 5 and 6, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your paths straight." This is the key that unlocks your next level. Not your strength, not your calculations, but your surrender. You may have asked, why is my path so crooked? But today, the Lord confirms, your path is being straightened, and that is the prophetic sign of your shift. Picture this, a sundial covered by clouds. In the shadow, it seems useless, unable to reveal the hour. But when the sun breaks through, its purpose is revealed with precision. You are that sundial. In the darkness, you thought you had no value. But now, the light of God is about to shine upon you, and your life will become a visible sign to others. Let me tell you about one who was chosen. He endured years of waiting, applying for jobs while watching others move ahead. People mocked his faith, telling him prayer was wasted time. Yet night after night, he whispered, "Lord, I surrender all to you." One ordinary morning, the phone call came. It wasn't just employment, it was a divine doorway, a position that carried influence beyond what he imagined. That breakthrough wasn't luck. It was the reward of trusting God in the shadows. That could be your story. Every delay has been preparation. Not a single tear was wasted. Not one prayer was ignored. God has been aligning details, turning detours into straight paths, and strengthening your foundation for what is coming next. And understand this, the enemy doesn't waste time attacking those who pose no threat. The warfare you have faced is proof that you carry something dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. The pressure you have felt was not sent to destroy you, but to reveal the sound of heaven through you. You are like a seed that must break open in the soil before it can rise into the light. Chosen one. This is your awakening. You cannot afford to stay half asleep anymore. There is a crown with your name etched into it. But crowns are not given to the distracted. They are placed on those who rise up and answer the call. And as you hear this, hope is stirring again. Faith you thought was fading is being reignited. This is not fleeting emotion. It is the true movement of heaven over your life. If this message speaks to you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it so another soul can hear what you just heard. Subscribe, so you remain connected to the prophetic flow that is being poured out in this season. And now, as a prophetic act of agreement, comment the number 444 below. This is not just a number, it is a sign that you choose alignment with heaven's timing. Stepping boldly into your next level. There is something powerful about the number you just declared. 4 stands for foundation. When you type 444, you are prophetically declaring that your life is being rebuilt on unshakable ground. No matter what storms come, The structure God is raising in you will stand firm. Think of a house being constructed. At first, the foundation is hidden beneath the soil. Nobody celebrates it. Yet without it, the walls would crumble. That has been your hidden season. You have been unseen, but you have been under construction. Now, the foundation is set, and the building of your destiny is rising. The Spirit whispers, "Do not despise small beginnings. What you call little, God calls lasting. What you see as delay, He calls strengthening." The foundation may not be glamorous, but it is eternal. That is what 444 marks, the eternal work He is completing in you. So hold this act close to your heart. By writing 444, you are aligning with heaven's architecture for your life. You are saying, "Lord, build me strong, build me steady, build me unshakable." And as you declare it, angels are recording it, setting in motion a shift you cannot yet imagine. You have been marked by fire. The flames you walked through were never meant to consume you, though at times you felt as though you were being swallowed whole. Every hardship, every sleepless night, every betrayal that left scars on your soul, they were not random. They were shaping seasons, chiseling away what could not remain, and leaving behind the unshakable core of who you were always meant to be. Consider gold in its raw state. It looks ordinary, even dirty, but when placed into the furnace, impurities begin to rise to the surface. The fire does not destroy the gold, it reveals its purity. That has been your story. You thought the fire would end you, but instead it revealed you. It pulled out endurance, resilience, and a depth of faith you did not even know you carried. There was a time you begged God to remove the flame. You asked, "Why must it be so hard?" Yet what felt like punishment was preparation. Fire does not only refine, it also brands. It leaves a mark, a visible sign that something sacred has touched your life. Those who see you now may not understand it, but they sense there is something different about you. You carry the unmistakable fragrance of someone who has walked through fire and survived. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 71, verse 20. "Though you have made me see troubles, many and bitter, you will restore my life again from the depths of the earth. You will again bring me up." These words remind you that trouble was never the end. Even when bitterness seemed to overwhelm you, the promise of restoration was alive within your story. And now, standing on this side of the fire, you begin to recognize that restoration is not simply returning to what you once were. It is being lifted higher, carried further, and made stronger than you imagined. Think of a tree struck by lightning. To the eye, it looks ruined. Branches burn, bark peels away. Yet often, deep inside the trunk, life still pulses. In time, new growth springs forth, and the scar becomes a testimony, not a death sentence. You, too, carry scars, but they are not evidence of defeat. They are signs of survival, proof that God's breath never left you. There is a chosen one's story that mirrors this truth. She endured betrayal by her closest friend, the kind of wound that cuts deeper than physical pain. For months, she walked through fire, barely able to pray, only whispering fragments of hope. Yet in that furnace, she discovered something she had not known before. God's nearness in pain is not lessened. It is magnified. In time, forgiveness flowed where bitterness had lived, and when she looked back, she realized the betrayal had been the very thing that pushed her into her calling to counsel others who felt abandoned. Your fire is doing the same. It is giving you authority to speak into realms others cannot touch. Pain, when surrendered, becomes power, and the fire that once threatened to silence you becomes the very mark that identifies you as chosen. Do not despise the flames you endured. They have etched something eternal upon you. Every season of loss carved wisdom into your voice. Every storm built strength in your bones. Every unanswered question deepened your compassion for those still searching. These are not weaknesses, they are treasures formed in the heat. The prophet Malachi once declared that God will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver. Think of that image. The refiner never leaves the silver unattended. He watches carefully, because the moment he sees his reflection in the metal, the process is complete. That is what your fire has been about, God looking into your life until his reflection shines clearly. And now, as you step forward, you will notice that people are drawn to your story, even without you speaking much. They may not know why, but they sense the fire's residue upon you. You are a living testimony of endurance, a walking altar that declares, I have been through, but I am not broken. I have scars, but I am not finished. I am marked, and the mark is holy. Then hold on to this truth. Fire is not your enemy. It was the tool of heaven to brand you for destiny. And though you never would have chosen it, you will look back one day and thank God that he trusted you with the flame, because what you carry now, strength, depth, wisdom, and unshakable faith, could not have been birthed in comfort. It had to be forged in fire. The weight you carried was never ordinary. Others saw only your smile, your ability to function, your strength to keep going. They did not see the tears on your pillow. The nights when you whispered prayers you thought no one heard. They did not feel the heaviness pressing against your chest as you forced yourself to keep walking. And yet, what felt like a crushing burden was not meant to destroy you. It was divine training for authority. When a soldier is prepared for war, the training is not light. It involves carrying heavy packs, running long distances, enduring strain that seems unnecessary. But in the battlefield, every ounce of that training makes sense. The weight you have carried has been the same. God entrusted you with heaviness because he knew it would forge in you a resilience that cannot be faked. According to what is revealed in the letter to the Romans, chapter 8, verse 18, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. Oh, this is not to minimize your pain, but to reveal its purpose. What you endured is small when measured against the weight of glory resting on your future. The scale tips so far in your favor that even your scars will shine like medals of honor. Think of the ox that plows the field. The yoke upon its neck looks heavy, but it is that very weight that breaks the hard ground, so seed can be planted. You have been like that ox yoked with responsibility, walking through hard soil, wondering why life felt so heavy. Yet now, the field is prepared, and the harvest will not only bless you but countless others. There was once a chosen one who carried invisible burdens for years. Her family leaned on her strength, though inside she was weary. Friends admired her perseverance, but they never knew how close she was to breaking. One day, In quiet prayer, she heard a whisper, "You are not carrying this weight alone." That moment shifted everything. She realized the yoke was shared. The hand of God had always been on her shoulder. From then on, the same responsibilities no longer felt crushing, because she knew she was walking in partnership with heaven. Your story is not far from hers. You have carried much, perhaps more than most, but you were never abandoned to bear it alone. Every step, unseen angels walked with you. Every silent cry was recorded in heaven, and the very weight you thought was your downfall has become the weight of authority. Understand this: authority is not gifted lightly. It is tested, proven, carried. When you speak in the future, your words will not be empty, because they will be backed by the reality of what you have lived. Your voice will break chains because it carries the sound of someone who has survived the pressure. Imagine a bridge built across a deep valley before it can ever hold cars. It is tested with pressure and weight far beyond the average. Why? To ensure it can carry generations safely across. You are that bridge. You were tested with weight so that many others could safely walk across your testimony. Chosen one. The season of carrying without understanding is ending. Now the revelation arrives. What you bore was not punishment. It was preparation. And what you thought was breaking you was actually building you. Here is what I want you to do as a prophetic response. Write these 3 words in the comments. Burden to crown. And when you type it, you are declaring that the heaviness you carried is not wasted. The burden is transforming into authority. The scars are becoming jewels. And the very weight that pressed you down is now being exchanged for a royal crown that will mark you forever. Every crown has a cost. Kings are not crowned without first proving their endurance. Your burdens were the price of your coronation. Each season of heaviness was carving out the shoulders strong enough to carry the authority of a chosen one. Without weight, there would be no depth. Without struggle, no glory. Think of Joseph in the prison. He carried the weight of betrayal, false accusation, and years of delay. But that burden became the staircase to his crown in Egypt. Your story is walking in the same rhythm. What feels like captivity today is the training ground for tomorrow's rulership. So when you write, burden to crown, it is not just words, it is prophecy. You are sealing in faith the truth that every ounce of pain will be exchanged for eternal purpose. Heaven has already begun the trade. You have been exposed to darkness, not because you were cursed, but because the light within you carries the power to terrify what lurks in the shadows. The enemy has studied you, seen your potential, and tried to suffocate it before it could bloom. Every strange resistance, every door that slammed shut, every battle that rose up against you, it was confirmation of the light you carry. Imagine walking into a room where the curtains are drawn tight. The darkness seems thick, almost heavy. Yet the moment you strike a match, the entire atmosphere shifts. Darkness does not argue. It retreats. That is how your presence operates in the spiritual realm. You may have thought you were powerless, but your very existence forces darkness to move back. Scripture says in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5, the light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. This verse is not just poetic, it is personal. The light inside you is not fragile. It cannot be extinguished. Not by betrayal, not by failure, not even by the mistakes you thought disqualified you. Darkness has tried, but it has never succeeded. The fact that you are still here is proof of that truth. Consider the moth drawn to the flame. The insect is small, yet it cannot resist the pull of light. Likewise, the people who cross your path often feel something different about you, even if they cannot explain it. Some are drawn for healing, while others are repelled because your light exposes their shadows. Do not misinterpret rejection. At times, their resistance was never about you, it was about the radiance you carry. There was once a chosen one who wrestled with this everywhere he went. He felt misunderstood. Co-workers distanced themselves. Friendships ended without explanation. For years, he thought something was wrong with him. But in prayer, God revealed, it is not rejection, it is reaction. They see the light in you, and the shadows inside them are uncomfortable. That moment shifted everything. What once felt like loneliness became confirmation that he was walking in truth. Your experiences mirror his. You have faced strange opposition that made no sense at the time. Yet now you see, your calling has always been too radiant to remain unnoticed. Darkness identified you even when people did not. Think of a lighthouse on the edge of a stormy coast. Ships tossed in the waves may curse the storm, but they look for the beam of light to guide them home. The lighthouse stands in the fiercest winds, battered but never silenced. That is you. Those storms have beaten against you. Your light has not gone out. And in the coming season, many will navigate by what you carry. The prophet Hosea wrote of God's people wandering in the shadows, yet being drawn back by his light. In the same way, your story is a living invitation. Those who have stumbled in darkness will find direction through the illumination you bear. Your survival is not only about you, it is about those who will be rescued through you. You must also recognize this. The enemy has tried to convince you that exposure to darkness means you are contaminated. But that is a lie. Fire does not lose its heat when surrounded by cold air. It burns brighter. Light does not dim because it steps into the night. It shines more clearly. Every season you walked through the toxic environments, the negative voices, the secret battles did not extinguish your light. They made it undeniable. And so, do not despise the shadows you encountered. They were not punishment. They were the backdrop that proved the brilliance of the light inside you. Without the night, stars cannot be seen. Without darkness, the radiance of your calling would never have been revealed. Now, as you step further into your journey, you will notice something new. The very places where you once felt oppressed will become the arenas where your authority is displayed. The shadows you endured have trained you not to fear the night, but to shine brighter in it. Chosen one. You are not a victim of darkness, you are its disruption. You were exposed not to break you, but to reveal you. And though the battles have been fierce, every one of them has whispered the same truth. You are dangerous to the kingdom of darkness because your light cannot be overcome. Chosen one. Remember this always. The darkness that once tried to suffocate you has become your stage. What once threatened to silence you now amplifies your voice. Step forward, for your light was never meant to flicker, it was meant to blaze. The prophetic shift begins. You have felt the stirring, the subtle movement in the unseen, and now heaven is opening a doorway. What was once locked is beginning to turn. The atmosphere around you is shifting, not because of chance, but because God has declared it so. Think of the ocean when the tide changes. At first, the waves seem ordinary, but beneath the surface, the pull of the moon is shifting the entire sea. Soon the water rises higher, the current grows stronger, and the landscape along the shore is transformed. That is your life right now. You may not see everything with your eyes, but the currents of heaven are pulling you into a new season. We are reminded through the writings of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 19. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Then, this verse is not distant history, it is your reality. The wilderness, where you thought nothing could grow, is about to bloom. The dry ground where you felt forgotten is about to flow with streams of provision. This is the prophetic shift, and it is already in motion. A chosen one once walked through years of delay. Job opportunities collapsed. Relationships fell apart, and hope seemed like a fading echo. But in prayer, she sensed the whisper of God, I am doing something new. At first, nothing looked different. Yet within weeks, a door opened in the very place she thought was barren. The wilderness became a garden. That is the pattern of the shift. You don't see it until suddenly you do. Chosen one. This shift is not only for your breakthrough, it is for your testimony. Others will look at your life and realize that God is still in the business of making streams in dry places. What happens in you will awaken faith in them. And here, I must speak to your heart honestly. If this word is reaching you, if it feels like living water to your soul, then consider staying connected. Like and share this message. Think of it as planting seeds along a road, seeds you may never see grow. Yet someone else will walk by one day and find shade under the tree you planted. Subscribe, so you remain rooted in this prophetic stream. Just as a branch draws life from staying connected to the vine, staying connected here will keep your spirit refreshed. Donut. If your heart feels led, imagine a lamp that shines in the night. On its own, it gives light to one room. But when oil is poured into it, the flame grows steady and bright, guiding many more through the darkness. Your giving is that oil. It doesn't purchase blessing, it fuels light. Remember, this is never about pressure. The kingdom does not force. Streams flow freely, and giving flows best when it comes from a willing heart. If today this word has refreshed you, you may choose to pour back so that the well never runs dry for others. And if you cannot, know this, your presence, your prayers, even your silent listening, these are treasures already. The shift is here. The tides are turning, the streams are flowing, and the wilderness is blooming. And you, chosen one, are stepping right into the middle of it. The prophetic shift is not a distant hope, it is a present reality. Sometimes, the evidence begins quietly, like a soft wind moving through the leaves. You may not see the tree sway yet, but the air around it testifies that something is shifting. That is your moment right now. This new season is not about rushing ahead. It is about walking in step with the rhythm of heaven. When a farmer sees clouds gathering, he does not panic. He prepares the soil because he knows the rain will surely fall. Preparation is your posture. Align your heart. Clear the clutter, and open your hands to receive what is already on its way. Think of a key turning inside a lock. For years the door seemed sealed, but all the while, the key was being shaped. The trials, the delays, the lessons they filed, your key into the perfect fit. Now, when heaven turns it, the lock will respond instantly, and when the door opens, it will not be for you alone. Others who have walked behind you, carrying their own burdens, will find courage through your testimony. The prophetic shift flowing in your life will become the current that carries them forward. So, rest in this truth. The change is already alive within you. The wilderness is blossoming. The tide is turning. And you are stepping into ground you never imagined possible. This is your time, your shift, your new beginning. Numbers have always carried meaning in Scripture. They are not accidents, they are prophetic symbols. Reminders that God orders time, seasons, and destinies. And now, in your journey, the number is rising as a sign of alignment. It is not superstition. It is not coincidence. It is a prophetic seal. Think of how the Israelites marched around Jericho 7 times before the walls fell. That was not a random instruction. Every step carried weight. Every lap was a declaration that God was orchestrating victory. In the same way, certain numbers become reminders that heaven is marking a moment, placing a spiritual fingerprint upon your life. The Apostle reminds us in his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 17, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." Men, this is the truth behind prophetic numbers. What feels like a moment of trouble is producing something eternal. You are not lost in randomness. You are moving in rhythm with divine order. Imagine a clock tower in the center of a city. Each hour, the bell rings out across the streets. People know the time, not because they carry watches, but because the sound tells them. That is how numbers in God's hand work. They ring out like bells, announcing that a shift in the hour has come. And today, your hour is marked. A chosen one once testified of how, during a season of despair, the same number kept appearing in phone calls, on receipts, even in dreams. At first, she dismissed it as coincidence, but in prayer, she realized it was a gentle tap on her shoulder. God saying, "I am here. I am aligning things you cannot see." That simple number became her anchor. It reminded her daily that her life was not spiraling, heaven was guiding. In your story, too, numbers become anchors. They remind you that you are not wandering, you are being led. They carry the whisper, "This moment matters. Pay attention." 1. Chosen one. Right now, the number you are called to declare is 555. Why this number? 5 has always symbolized grace. 555 is the overflow, the abundance of grace multiplied until it cannot be denied. By writing this number, you are prophetically declaring that grace is not running out on you. It is increasing, multiplying, overflowing into your life. Picture a waterfall. One stream of water is refreshing, but when 3 streams converge into one, the roar is deafening and the spray covers everything around it. That is the image of 555. Grace is not trickling, it is cascading over you, touching every part of your journey. When you comment 555, you are making a declaration. Grace is covering me. Grace is multiplying for me. Grace is carrying me where my strength cannot. It is not just typing digits on a screen, it is aligning your heart with heaven's language. It is your way of saying, I believe the shift I am stepping into is not earned by effort, but received by grace. Some of you may feel unworthy of that grace. The darkness of your past whispers, "Not you, not after what you've done." But grace silences that voice. Grace declares, especially you, especially because you could not do it on your own. Think again of Peter, the fisherman who denied Jesus 3 times. Yet on the shore, after the resurrection, Jesus gave him 3 opportunities to affirm his love. 3 denials were swallowed by 3 affirmations. Triple failure was met with triple grace. That is what 555 represents for you, the multiplied grace that redeems, restores, and realigns. And this grace is not weak. It is power to stand, power to rise, power to endure. It is the very current of the prophetic shift. You do not step into your next level by striving harder. You step in because grace carries you. So pause and let that truth settle deep. You are not disqualified. You are not behind. You are aligned, covered, and strengthened by multiplied grace. That is what this number seals over your life. Chosen one. As you type 555 inches, the comments, let it be your declaration that grace is your portion, grace is your inheritance, and grace is your path forward. You are stepping into a season where effort cannot explain your elevation, only grace can. Chosen one. Remember this, grace is not a temporary guest. It is the permanent atmosphere you now breathe. Every step you take forward is soaked in it. When you declare 555, you are not just naming numbers, you are testifying that multiplied grace will meet you tomorrow, next week, and in every season ahead. Let this number echo in your spirit, grace upon grace upon grace, until your life becomes a living testimony. The delay was divine. Those seasons when everything seemed to stand still were not evidence of abandonment. They were evidence of orchestration. In silence, God was arranging pieces you could not see, moving hearts you did not know, and aligning circumstances beyond your understanding. Think of a weaver sitting at the loom. From the underside, the threads look tangled, messy, without pattern. But on the upper side, a beautiful design is forming. You have been staring at the knots and wondering why life seemed confusing, but heaven has been working from the top side, weaving something far more intricate than you could imagine. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of John, chapter 13, verse 7, "You do not realize now what I am doing, but later you will understand." No, these words were first spoken to the disciples, yet they echo into your story. You may not understand the why of every delay, but later, when the tapestry is revealed, you will recognize that every pause had purpose. There was once a chosen one who longed for marriage. She prayed, waited, and watched as her friends found spouses and built families. Years passed, and her heart ached. She asked God why he was so silent, but in time, she discovered the delay had been shielding her. The one she eventually met was worth the wait, honorable, kind, and equally devoted to God. The years of longing were not wasted. They were protection from settling for less. Your delay carries the same mystery. It may feel like punishment, but it is often preservation. When doors stayed closed, it was not because you were forgotten, it was because something better was being prepared. Consider a seed buried in the soil. For weeks, nothing appears. To the impatient eye, it seems lifeless, but beneath the surface, roots are stretching, strengthening, preparing to support the stem that will break through. The delay is not death, it is rooting. Without it, the plant would wither in the first wind. You, too, have been rooting. Every unanswered prayer has deepened your faith. Every closed door has stretched your patience. Every waiting room has strengthened your endurance. These invisible roots will sustain you when your season of visible fruit arrives. The prophet Habakkuk once stood bewildered at God's timing, crying out for answers. Yet in the end, he declared, "Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay." That paradox is the mystery of divine timing. To you it feels like delay. To God, it is perfect alignment. There was a man who longed for work after losing his job. Applications piled up. Rejections came one after another. He thought heaven had gone silent. But months later, when the call finally came, the position was not just employment, it was influence. Had it come earlier, he would have missed the higher opportunity. The delay was not a no, it was a wait. So many of your tears, chosen one, have been shed in waiting. You wondered if God had turned his face away. But understand this, silence is not absence. Delay is not denial. The author of time holds your story, and he has been scripting chapters you will soon read with joy. Think of a musician tuning a violin before the concert. The audience grows restless, eager for the song to begin. Yet the careful tuning ensures the melody will be beautiful and not discordant. God has been tuning your life. The waiting may have stretched your patience, but it has ensured that when your song begins, it will be in perfect harmony. Chosen one, do not despise the waiting room. It is not wasted space. It is the sacred place where character is shaped. Vision is clarified, and strength is forged. The delay is not against you, it is for you. And when the shift comes, it will not trickle, it will rush in like a flood. Suddenly, the years of waiting will collapse into a moment of fulfillment. What once seemed stagnant will burst with life. And then, as you look back, you will whisper to yourself, the delay was divine. Then, chosen one. Waiting seasons are often the most misunderstood chapters. People around you may think nothing is happening. But in truth, the most critical growth is taking place underground. You are being strengthened in silence. One day soon, what has been hidden will spring forth openly. Just as a bud breaks through its shell to reveal color, your life will reveal the beauty that was forming in the delay. The shift will be undeniable, and when it comes, you will no longer resent the waiting. Instead, you will thank God for it. You will see clearly that the pause was not punishment, it was preparation for greatness. The testing of isolation has been one of the hardest trials you have faced. You have walked through seasons where the crowd disappeared. Friends drifted, and even family could not seem to understand your heart. At times you felt abandoned, as if the silence around you was confirmation that you were forgotten. Yet what looked like emptiness was actually the cocoon of transformation. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 25, verse 16, "Turn to me and be gracious to me, for I am lonely and afflicted." Now, David knew the sting of isolation. He sat in caves, hunted by enemies, and even betrayed by those closest to him. And yet, in those very lonely hours, he encountered the deepest intimacy with God. What others saw as exile, heaven called preparation. Think of a caterpillar weaving its cocoon. To the outside eye, it seems trapped, motionless, cut off from the world. Yet, inside, the creature is undergoing radical change. Wings are forming where there were none before. That is your story. You thought the isolation was your end, but it was your metamorphosis. There was once a chosen one who endured years of solitude. Invitation dried up. Friendships faded, and she could not understand why she was so often alone. Yet during those quiet years, she began journaling prayers, filling pages with her cries and revelations. Later, those very journals became a book that encouraged thousands. The isolation that once felt like punishment became the womb of her purpose. Your own isolation has been no different. Heaven allowed you to be hidden because what was growing inside you could not survive constant exposure. Like seeds in the soil, your potential needed darkness before it could sprout in the light. Imagine a sculptor at work on a masterpiece. He places the stone in his workshop, away from the crowds. Stroke by stroke, he chisels, cuts, and shapes, unseen by the public. Only when the form is ready does he unveil it. That has been your season. Hidden, yes, but forgotten, never. In isolation, distractions fall away. You hear your own thoughts more clearly, and in that silence, the voice of God has whispered to you in ways that would have been drowned out in the noise of company. What felt like loneliness was actually clarity. Even Jesus himself knew this pattern. Before his public ministry began, he was led into the wilderness, 40 days in isolation, with only the Spirit and the Word as his companions. It was there he confronted temptation, strengthened his identity, and prepared for the mission ahead. If the Son of God embraced the wilderness, then your own season of solitude carries holy purpose. Do not despise the caves, the empty rooms, the unanswered texts. They have been your cocoon. Without them, your wings could not form. Without them, your voice would not be sharpened. Without them, your heart would not be refined. Consider the stars in the night sky. They are always present, but only in the absence of sunlight do we see their brilliance. Your isolation has revealed your hidden light. It was not meant to diminish you, but to show you what had always been within you. There was a man who once confessed that his loneliest nights became his most creative. Songs were birthed in silence, melodies that later healed others. He realized the absence of people had made room for the presence of inspiration. What once felt like rejection was actually redirection. Chosen one. Your cocoon is temporary. It is not a coffin. It is a chamber of transformation. When the time is right, you will break forth, wings stretching, flight beginning. And those who never noticed you before will marvel at the beauty birthed in solitude. So hold on in the quiet. Let the silence teach you. Let the stillness mold you. For soon, the testing of isolation will reveal the triumph of transformation, and you will rise, not in bitterness for being hidden, but in gratitude for the wings you now carry. Chosen one. Remember, isolation was not meant to shrink you, but to stretch you. In the stillness, your spirit grew stronger than your surroundings, learning to lean on heaven alone. One day, you will look back on these quiet seasons and realize they were the birthplace of your wings. Without the solitude, you would have never discovered the strength to soar. And when you rise, you will not resent the cave. You will thank it, because it was in the hidden place that you found your true identity and emerged as more than a survivor. You became a carrier of transformation. The moment of decision is here. For too long, you have stood between two places, knowing there is a crown with your name on it, yet hesitating because of fear, doubt, or the weight of your past. But now, the season of wavering is ending. You cannot live forever at the crossroads. As it is written in the first book of Kings, chapter 2, verse 3, observe what the Lord, your God, requires. Walk in obedience to him. Keep his decrees and commands, so that you may prosper in all you do. This is not simply a verse from history, it is a mirror for your present moment. The indecision you have carried has cost you peace. Every time you hesitated, the crown waited. Every time you postponed, the throne remained empty. Now heaven is declaring, it is time to choose. Think of a runner at the starting line, muscles tensed, heart pounding, eyes fixed ahead. The moment the gun fires, the runner cannot remain crouched. To stay in place is to lose the race. That is where you are now. The starting line has been reached, and the signal has sounded. To remain still is to miss what has been prepared. There was a chosen one who wrestled with this very tension. For years, she dreamed of stepping into ministry, but feared rejection. She told herself, I'm not ready. I'm not worthy. Yet in prayer, one day, she realized hesitation was robbing her of joy. With trembling hands, she stepped forward, and the crown she thought was beyond her reach settled upon her head. Her courage unlocked her destiny. Your hesitation has been costly, but your decision will be glorious. The crown waiting for you is not ornamental. It is a mantle of authority. It carries weight, influence, and responsibility. And when you embrace it, you step into alignment with the purpose for which you were born. Think of a door cracked open. You can peer through, glimpse the room beyond. But until you push it wide and walk in, you remain an observer. Choosing your crown is stepping fully through the door, no longer a spectator, but a participant in destiny. And so, I must ask you to do something as a prophetic response. Comment these words below. I choose glory. It is short, but it carries weight. When you type it, you are not simply making a statement, you are making a stand. You are declaring that hesitation no longer rules you. You are saying, the authority prepared for me, I now receive. Do not underestimate this act. These 3 words become a seal, a reminder that today you chose the crown. Heaven witnesses your response, and your future shifts accordingly. Chosen one, the indecision ends now. You are not called to live in limbo. You are called to reign, to lead, to carry the mantle placed upon you. And when you choose your crown, you also choose the life, the authority, and the destiny that come with it. Step forward. The crown is waiting, and it belongs to you. A crown is never given in secret. It is placed in the open, for all to see. When you step into your calling, your testimony will shine like gold, refined in the fire. The same people who doubted you will witness the authority now resting on your head, not for pride, but for the glory of God. Every crown comes with weight. It is not a decoration, it is a mantle. That weight will feel heavy at times. But remember, the heaviness you once carried was training. The burdens you endured prepared your shoulders for this very moment. What felt like oppression was actually rehearsal for elevation. And the crown does not only change your appearance, it shifts your posture. You will walk taller, not because of arrogance, but because destiny straightens your spine. Where you once bowed under shame, you will now stand in strength. Where you once felt invisible, you will become a visible sign of God's favor. Think of Esther. She was an orphan, hidden in obscurity, and yet she was crowned queen for a purpose greater than herself. Her decision to embrace that crown saved an entire nation. Likewise, your crown is not for your comfort alone, it is for the lives connected to your obedience. So when you declare, "I choose glory," you are saying yes to more than your own breakthrough. You are saying yes to becoming a vessel through which heaven will touch the earth. Your choice today carries ripple effects far beyond your imagination. Chosen one, let your decision be firm. The crown is not distant, it is here. And the moment you step forward, everything changes. Doors that cannot be shut are opening before you. For too long, you have knocked, prayed, and wondered if the hinges of heaven were rusted shut. Yet in this prophetic moment, the Lord reminds you that no earthly power can seal what heaven has decreed open. The door is not just creaking, it is swinging wide. As was spoken in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 8, "See, I have placed before you an open door that no one can shut. I know you have little strength, yet you have kept my word and not denied my name." This promise was not given to the powerful, the flawless, or the strong. It was given to those who had little strength, but still remained faithful. That is you. You thought your weakness disqualified you, but your endurance in the valley has positioned you at the threshold of an unshakable door. Imagine a garden gate locked for the winter. Frost covers the hinges, and you stand outside wondering if spring will ever come. Then suddenly, the warmth of the season melts the ice, and the gate opens with ease. You do not force it. The season itself swings it wide. That is how your door is opening, not by striving, but by timing. A chosen one once carried a dream in silence. Every attempt to move forward failed, and every connection seemed to dissolve. For years, she thought the vision was dead. Yet, in one unexpected week, invitations arrived, opportunities aligned, and what had felt frozen came alive. She realized the years of delay had not been wasted. They had been preparing her to walk through the door with maturity, not naivety. Your journey reflects the same rhythm. What once resisted you is now releasing you. You will not need to pound against the wood. The same God who commanded the Red Sea to part is commanding this door to open, and as you stand before this threshold, let me gently ask something of you. If these words are stirring your soul, if they are confirming what you already felt deep inside, then let your response flow from gratitude. Like and share this message, not for statistics or applause, but as if you were lighting lanterns along a path. Someone walking in darkness tonight may stumble upon your shared light and discover the open door they have been praying for. Or think of it as releasing a dove, carrying a message across the horizon. You never know whose window it will land upon, bringing them hope just when they need it most. Subscribe so your spirit stays connected. A tree planted by streams of water does not uproot itself. It flourishes because it remains rooted where nourishment flows. Staying connected here is like choosing to remain by that stream, letting living words refresh you week by week. And let me speak tenderly about giving. Donate if your heart feels led, not because you must, not because you owe, but because giving is the language of love. Picture this: a river flows through a valley, watering crops and feeding villages. But upstream, someone chooses to dig deeper, widening the channel. Because of their effort, the river expands, reaching farther than before. That is what your giving does. It does not purchase blessing, it widens the channel so that living water flows to places it could not reach before. Or imagine a lighthouse on the edge of the coast. Its beam saves ships from wreckage, but the lamp inside requires oil. Your support is not paying for light, it is pouring oil into the lamp so that more travelers can find their way home. And every life touched becomes part of your testimony too. Never feel pressured. The kingdom of God does not twist arms. Every act here is invitation, not obligation. If you cannot give, your prayers, your listening, even your silent agreement are priceless offerings. But if your heart longs to partner, let it be a joy. Like planting a seed will bloom beyond your sight. Remember this: open doors are not just for you. They are also for those watching your life. Your breakthrough becomes a map for someone else's journey. Your yes to God becomes their courage to step forward. Chosen one. The door is open. Step through with confidence, not fear. What resisted you is bowing. What delayed you is releasing. The season of closed doors is ending, and the season of divine access is here. Chosen one. Walk boldly. This open door is not fragile. It was forged for you. Step across the threshold with faith, and watch how heaven rearranges everything on the other side. Heaven's army moves. You may not see it with natural eyes, but the unseen realm is more alive, more active, more decisive than you realize. Around you, angelic forces have been stationed, not as a decoration of faith, but as a strategy of war. Every tear you shed, every prayer you whispered in the night, heaven responded, not with silence, but with soldiers. We are reminded in the book of Psalms, chapter 34, verse 7, the angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. And this is not poetic exaggeration, it is spiritual reality, even in the loneliest moments. When you thought you were surrounded only by darkness, the armies of heaven had already pitched their tents around you. Where others saw weakness, heaven saw an opportunity to display strength. Think of Elisha and his servant in Dothan. An earthly army surrounded the city, ready to capture them. The servant panicked, but Elisha prayed, "Open his eyes, Lord, that he may see." And suddenly, the young man saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire. The earthly army looked overwhelming until heaven's army was revealed. That story is not a distant tale, it is your reality. You may feel surrounded, but you are actually protected. There was once a chosen one who faced relentless attack. Sickness struck her family, finance drained, and anxiety threatened her peace. She felt abandoned, until one night in prayer she sensed a vision, warriors standing guard at her door, swords drawn, flames burning. In that moment, she knew she was not alone. Her situation did not immediately change, but her spirit shifted. Confidence replaced fear because she realized heaven had already sent reinforcement. You, too, have walked through battles. Some were visible, others invisible, but none of them were fought alone. Angels have moved when you prayed. They have guarded when you slept. They have warred on your behalf in ways you may never know this side of eternity. Consider the image of a shepherd leading sheep through valleys. Wolves lurk in the shadows, unseen by the flock, yet hidden in the rocks above. Archers are stationed, watching, waiting, ready to strike at the first sign of danger. The sheep never realize how close the threat came, because the hidden defenders acted swiftly. That is the reality of your life. Many times, you were rescued before you even knew there was danger. Even now, angelic forces are not idle. They are moving as assignments are given. They are stationed at the threshold of your destiny, ensuring that what God has decreed over you will not be stolen. You may feel fragile, but heaven's army does not waver. The prophet Daniel once prayed for understanding. For 21 days, the answer seemed delayed, but when the angel arrived, he revealed, "From the first day you prayed, your words were heard." The battle in the heavens had delayed the message, but reinforcement came, and the answer was delivered. Likewise, your prayers have already been heard. The answer may be contending through spiritual resistance, but heaven's army is already moving to bring it forth. Chosen one, recognize this. You are not defenseless. You are not exposed. You are not an easy target. You are surrounded, shielded, and covered by forces far greater than the opposition against you. The ground you stand on is holy, not because of where it is, but because of who has stationed his army upon it. Picture yourself standing in a battlefield at dawn. The fog begins to lift, and what once looked like loneliness is revealed as an army stretching beyond the horizon, all standing for you. That is not imagination, it is truth. Heaven's hosts are real, and they march at the command of the King who calls you chosen. So take courage. Lift your head. The next time fear whispers, remind yourself that the whisper of darkness is drowned by the roar of heaven's army. You are covered. You are guarded. And you are never, ever alone. Chosen one. Every step you take is escorted. You may walk through crowded streets or sit in silent rooms, but unseen warriors are with you. Their presence is heaven's promise that you will not fall unguarded, even in the valley of shadows. Angelic feet march beside yours. You do not have to manufacture courage. It rises when you remember you are never outnumbered. What surrounds you is greater than what opposes you. So live with this assurance. You are carried by a kingdom, not of this world. Heaven's army moves for you, with you, and before you. Your destiny is secured, not by your strength, but by the command of the Lord of hosts. Prophetic signs often come not only through words, but through numbers. These numbers act as markers, divine fingerprints that whisper, you are aligned with heaven's timing. They are not superstition. They are sacred reminders that your life is woven into a greater pattern than you can see. We are reminded in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. And this is the heartbeat of prophetic numbers. They remind you that you are never abandoned, even in silence. You are accompanied, even in waiting. You are guided. Think of the compass needle. It always points north. No matter how many times it is spun or shaken, in the same way, prophetic numbers act like a compass in your spirit. They remind you where true north is, where God is directing your steps, and that you are not wandering aimlessly. A chosen one once testified of this. During a painful season, a certain number appeared repeatedly in receipts, in addresses, even in dreams. At first, she dismissed it, but over time she realized it was God's way of reminding her, I am here. I am steadying your course. That number became her anchor when everything else seemed uncertain. Chosen one. Your prophetic seal in this moment is the number 888. Why 888? Because it is the number of new beginnings in overflow. 8 symbolizes a fresh start, a resurrection, a cycle completed, and something new birthed. But 888 multiplies this truth. It means heaven is declaring not just one beginning, but layer upon layer of renewal in your life. Picture a sunrise. One dawn is beautiful enough, but imagine standing on a mountain where 3 horizons meet, and you witness 3 sunrises at once, painting the sky in endless light. That is the meaning of 888 new beginnings, multiplied until your entire atmosphere is transformed. When you comment 888, you are making a declaration. I am stepping into multiplied new beginnings. I will not be chained by yesterday. I will walk in the resurrection life that heaven has spoken over me. This is not merely typing numbers. It is aligning your spirit with heaven's rhythm. It is you agreeing with the truth that cycles of delay, pain, and stagnation are breaking, and doors of newness are swinging wide. Do not underestimate this prophetic act. Your comment becomes a testimony, not just for you, but for others reading. Someone may stumble upon your declaration and realize that their own new beginning is also possible. Your faith becomes their spark. Chosen one. The old season is closing. The ashes you carried will give way to beauty. The nights you endured will be replaced with dawns. And the newness will not come once, it will come again and again, multiplied until your life overflows with resurrection light. So declare it boldly. Comment 888 now, and let heaven see that you are ready for not just a beginning, but multiplied beginnings that will redefine your story. New beginnings do not mean erasing the past, they mean transforming it. The tears you cried will not be forgotten. They will water the soil where new life springs forth. The disappointments you carried will not be wasted. They will become the very foundation on which your renewal stands. That is the beauty of 888. It is not simply about starting over. It is about starting again with wisdom, depth, and strength you did not have before. Imagine a potter at the wheel. The clay collapses. The form loses shape. Yet the potter does not throw it away. He presses it down, reshapes it, and begins again. The second vessel carries more beauty because it has endured the process. Your new beginnings are like that. They are not fragile. They are fortified by everything you have endured. Another image. A forest after wildfire. The flames seem to devastate, but within months, green shoots push through the ashes. Flowers bloom brighter. Trees grow stronger. And the ecosystem resets with renewed vigor. What felt like destruction was preparation for multiplied life. That is the power of 888. It speaks of resurrection, not ruin. Chosen one. You will not simply see one door open, you will see a series of doors, each leading to greater clarity and opportunity. Your future is not a single sunrise, it is horizon after horizon lit with glory. And when you look back, you will understand that the season of endings was actually the womb of endless beginnings. Mercy and warning walk together like two edges of the same sword. One glimmers with hope, the other gleams with caution, and in this season, both are extended to you. Grace is abundant, but it is not to be taken lightly. There is still time to turn, to realign, to surrender fully. Yet the Spirit whispers, do not test the limits. For the line between mercy and judgment is thinner than you think. The voice of God thundered in the book of Hebrews, chapter 10, verse 26. If we deliberately keep on sinning after we have received the knowledge of the truth, no sacrifice for sins is left. No, this verse carries a sobering weight. It is not written to frighten, but to awaken. Mercy is wide, but rebellion narrows it. Grace is open, but repeated defiance closes it. You have walked under covering, yet every step away from obedience moves you closer to danger. Think of a candle burning in a dark room. Its flame warms and guides. But if the flame is smothered again and again, eventually the wick shortens, and the light cannot return. Mercy is like that flame. It burns brightly now, but it is not a license to trample truth. To quench it repeatedly is to risk losing the very light that sustained you. There was a chosen one who lived with divided loyalty. By day, she sang worship, but by night, she ran with the shadows. She thought grace was endless cover for her compromise. Yet slowly, she felt her passion dull. The songs became hollow, the prayers mechanical. It was not that God had abandoned her, it was that her repeated rebellion had dulled her own ears. Only when she surrendered fully did the flame roar back to life. This is the balance of mercy and warning. Grace restoris, but rebellion blinds. Conviction is not punishment, it is proof that God still pursues you. But to resist that conviction again and again is to risk drifting so far that the voice of God becomes faint. Imagine a ship on the ocean. The lighthouse beam flashes faithfully, guiding vessels from danger. But if a captain ignores it long enough, steering into the rocks despite the warning, the crash is inevitable. The lighthouse was never the problem, the refusal to heed was. In the same way, God's warnings are not harsh, they are merciful beams of light, calling you back before destruction comes. Mercy whispers, come closer. Warning declares, do not go further. Together, they form the rhythm of love. To ignore one is to misunderstand the other. Chosen one. The Spirit wants you awake. You are not standing in neutral ground. You are standing at the edge of decision. Heaven longs to clothe you in glory, but rebellion would strip you of it. This is why you feel the tension so strongly. It is the tug of war between mercy's embrace and warning's caution. But take heart. Conviction itself is a gift. The very fact that you still feel stirred proves the door is not shut. A hardened heart no longer trembles, no longer cares. Your trembling is evidence that mercy is still alive for you. Consider Israel in the wilderness. Again and again they tested God, turning to idols, complaining in rebellion. Yet, still, manna fell. Still, water flowed. That is mercy. But when they hardened themselves beyond return, judgment followed. The same God who sustained them was the one who warned them. Both flowed from His holiness. Your story stands at such a crossroads. Mercy has carried you this far, but warning now calls you to realign. Not tomorrow, not someday, now, because each delay risks dulling the flame. So hear this clearly. You are loved beyond measure, but love is not license. You are covered by grace. But grace is not permission to wander endlessly. Mercy pleads for your heart. Warning guards your soul. Together, they call you higher. Let this truth awaken you, not to fear, but to reverence. For the same God who warns with fire is the God who restores with gentleness. And if you turn fully now, you will discover mercy's embrace stronger than ever before. Mercy is still reaching for you, even in this very moment. It has not stepped aside. It has not abandoned you to your own devices. The door remains open, though it narrows with every delay. That open door is an invitation, not a threat. Warning, too, is a form of love. It is the hand on your shoulder, stopping you from stepping over the cliff's edge. Do not despise it. Honor it. Let it guide you back into alignment, so that when mercy embraces you, it will not be resisted, but received fully. The mantle of boldness is resting upon you. Where once you trembled, you will stand firm. Where once you whispered, you will declare. Boldness is not arrogance, it is the quiet, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing who sent you and what you carry. The Apostle reminds us in his second letter to Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind." Oh, this verse cuts like a sword through hesitation. Fear has stalked you long enough, whispering that you are unqualified, that your voice does not matter, that your presence changes nothing. But now the Spirit of God rises within you, silencing those lies. Power replaces panic. Love overcomes insecurity. A sound mind steadies you in the midst of storms. Think of David before Goliath. The entire army trembled at the sight of the giant. Yet David's boldness was not rooted in his own skill, but in the God who had delivered him from lions and bears. He stepped forward, not because he was fearless, but because he knew fear could not have the final word. That same mantle rests on you now. A chosen one once faced a season where speaking up at work cost her comfort. She wanted to remain silent, afraid of criticism. But one day, she sensed a stirring in her spirit. Be bold. With trembling, she voiced truth in a meeting. The atmosphere shifted, and though some resisted, many were inspired. That single act of courage opened doors for her to influence far beyond her title. Boldness became her mantle, and fear never bound her the same way again. Boldness will not remove challenges, but it will change how you face them. Giants may still rise, but they will no longer tower over your heart. Fear may whisper, but it will no longer dictate your choices. The mantle you carry now equips you to confront, to endure, and to overcome. Picture a lion in the wilderness. Its roar shakes the atmosphere. Not because the lion is the largest animal, but because it knows its authority. You are like that lion. The roar of boldness in your spirit will silence the chaos around you. Not everyone will understand, but even opposition will recognize the authority you carry. This mantle is not for public stages only, it is for your everyday life. It is boldness to forgive when bitterness tempts you, boldness to pray when doubt crowds your mind, boldness to keep walking when the path seems unclear. It is the courage to live fully aligned with heaven, even when no one else is watching. Moses once stood trembling at the burning bush, trying to excuse himself from God's call. He claimed he was not eloquent, not qualified. Yet the Lord answered, "Who gave human beings their mouths?" Boldness does not come from the absence of weakness, but from the presence of God. You, too, have felt unqualified, but the one who formed your voice will fill it. The mantle covers your inadequacy with divine strength. There is another image, a torchbearer running through the night. Darkness surrounds, yet the flame in his hand lights the path not only for himself, but for those running behind him. That is what boldness does. It is not selfish courage, it is contagious fire. Your willingness to step forward will ignite courage in those who thought they could not rise. Chosen one, do not shrink back. The mantle of boldness is not optional, it is necessary for the battles ahead. The future requires a fearless spirit, not because there is nothing to fear, but because you refuse to bow to it. Your boldness will break chains, shift atmospheres, and declare to the world that God's chosen ones do not cower in shadows. And when you wear this mantle, remember, it is not about shouting louder or standing taller. True boldness is simply obedience without hesitation. It is saying yes when everything in you wants to retreat. It is stepping forward when logic says, step back. It is trusting the voice of God above every other. This is your hour to carry the mantle well. Fear has lost its grip. Boldness is your portion. And with it, you will walk into every battle, every calling, every assignment, not timid, but unstoppable. Boldness will feel unfamiliar at first, like wearing a garment still new on your shoulders. Yet, as you walk, it will fit, and soon it will feel like it was always yours. Do not despise small acts of courage. Every step of bold obedience weaves the mantle tighter around you until fear no longer finds room to cling. Global awakening through you, that is the purpose of the shift you are experiencing. What God is birthing in your life is not confined to your own circle, it ripples outward, reaching nations, communities, and hearts you may never meet in person. The transformation within you becomes a spark, and sparks set whole forests ablaze. According to what is revealed in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 14, for the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. This is not only a distant prophecy of the end, it is a present declaration of what God longs to do through his chosen ones. The waters covering the sea are not partial. They are full, vast, unstoppable. In the same way, your obedience and your fire will not remain local. It will spread. Think of a single candle in a dark cathedral. At first, its glow seems small, hardly enough to shift the atmosphere, but then another candle is lit, and another, until the entire hall glows with warmth and light. That is what your yes to God accomplishes. You are the first flame, but countless others will catch fire from you. There was once a chosen one who quietly began praying for her neighborhood. At first, she thought her prayers were whispers, lost in the air. But slowly, people began to soften. Conversations opened. Hearts shifted. Years later, an entire community saw revival. She never held a microphone or led a stadium gathering. Yet, through her, the spark spread until it became a wave. And now, I must speak to you with tenderness. If these words have stirred you, let your response flow like water, not forced, but natural, free, and alive. Like and share this message as though you were casting bread upon the waters. Bread may sink unseen, but in time, it returns multiplied. What you release into the stream may drift further than you realize. Nourishing someone hungry on the far shore, comment as if you were planting seeds in a vast field. A single seed may look small, but buried in the soil, it becomes a tree that gives shade for generations. Your words, even simple ones, become markers of faith that outlive the moment. Subscribe like a tree, choosing to remain rooted by a river. The seasons may change, storms may come, but a rooted tree never withers. By staying connected, your spirit continually draws fresh strength, and you remain part of a forest that cannot be moved. Donate if your heart is moved, not as a transaction, not as obligation, but as a fragrance poured out like the woman who broke her alabaster jar at Jesus' feet. She was not buying his presence, she was honoring it. In the same way, your giving is oil released, fragrance filling the room, carrying beauty far beyond the moment. Or think of a lamp glowing in the night. Its light stretches across the path, guiding travelers who would otherwise stumble. But the lamp requires fresh oil. Your giving is that drop of oil. It keeps the flame alive, steady, and visible for countless others who walk behind you in the dark. Think of it this way. Your support is like adding another log to a fire. The flame already burns, but with each log, the fire grows, warming more hearts and lighting the night for those far away. You are not buying flame, you are feeding it, ensuring that it does not flicker but roars brighter and reaches further. Never feel pressured, for the kingdom does not twist hands. These are invitations, not requirements. You are free to give in the way that feels pure, whether through sharing, words, prayers, or resources. Every form of response is a ripple that becomes part of the awakening wave. And remember, global awakening does not begin with headlines. It begins in hidden hearts, hearts like yours, saying yes, responding with faith, and carrying light. One flame ignites another. One drop joins a river. One seed becomes a harvest. Through you, what begins small will not remain small. Chosen one. This is your hour to believe that the light within you can ripple far beyond you. The fire you carry will not stay contained. It is meant to ignite nations. And as you walk boldly, awakening spreads not by accident, but by divine design. Chosen one, never doubt the ripple your life can create. Even the smallest step of faith can stir waves that reach shores you will never see with your own eyes. Your obedience, your flame, your generosity, They are eternal echoes. Heaven takes what you release and multiplies it until the world feels the warmth of your yes. Crowned and unshakable, that is who you are becoming. The process has not been easy. You have been pressed, tested, refined, and stretched beyond what you thought you could bear. Yet through every season, something within you refused to collapse. And now, the crown rests upon your head, not as decoration, but as a seal of identity, as it is written in the first letter to the Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 58. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, stand firm. Let nothing move you. Always give yourselves fully to the work of the Lord, because you know that your labor in the Lord is not in vain. This crown is not fragile. It is not made of earthly jewels that fade with time. It is the crown of life, unshakable, eternal, unbreakable. Every moment you endured has been woven into it. Every scar turned into a gem. Every tear into a jewel that sparkles with the testimony of grace. Think of a mountain. Storms may beat upon it. Lightning may strike. Snow may cover its peaks. But the mountain remains. It is unshaken not because storms avoid it, but because its foundation is deep. You are that mountain. Storms have come. Winds have howled. But you still stand. The crown upon your head is proof that nothing could uproot you. There was once a chosen one who endured relentless seasons of loss, family fractures, financial collapse, even illness that threatened her life. Yet in the valley of shadows, she clung to God. With every trial, her voice grew steadier, her eyes clearer. When restoration finally came, it was not just material, it was authority. She had become unshakable, a living testimony that the crown of life belongs to those who endure. Chosen one. Your own endurance has written a similar story. The moments you thought would break you were the very moments that made you. The crown you wear now is not proof that you never struggled. It is proof that you refused to quit. Imagine an ancient oak in the middle of a battlefield. Generations of soldiers have marched past it. Wars have raged around it. Yet the tree still stands. Roots deep, branches stretching high. People look at it in awe, wondering how it survived so much. That is how the world will see you, marked by history, yet unshaken, crowned with resilience. Your unshakable nature is not only for survival, it is for leadership. People follow voices that do not tremble in the storm. Your crown positions you to guide others, not by words alone, but by the living testimony of endurance. And remember, crowns are not given in secret. They are placed publicly, so that others may witness. The crown you carry will draw attention, not to your strength, but to God's faithfulness. Your stability becomes an anchor for others who feel as though the waves will drown them. Think of Jerusalem's walls rebuilt under Nehemiah. Enemies mocked. Storms threatened. Yet the work continued until the walls stood firm. Your life mirrors those walls rebuilt. Fortified, unshakable. The crown you carry is the visible sign that the rebuilding is complete. There is a holy authority upon you now. You are no longer tossed about by every wind of doubt. Fear does not bind you. Shame does not define you. The storms may rage, but you will not be moved. The crown secures your identity as one who stands when others fall. So walk with your head lifted, not in arrogance, but in recognition of what you carry, The world needs unshakable voices, and you have been forged into one. The trials did not silence you, they shaped you. The crown is not just an ornament, it is a declaration. This one has endured, and this one will not fall. Chosen one. You are crowned and unshakable, and the days ahead will prove it again and again. Whatever comes, you will stand, not because of your own strength, but because of the one who crowned you with life. Chosen one. The crown you wear is not just for today, it is eternal. No trial, no storm, no voice of doubt can strip it away. It was placed on you by the hands of the eternal King. This crown is a reminder every morning that your labor has never been wasted. Every silent prayer, every hidden act of faithfulness, every tear shed in secret has been woven into its design. What you carried in weakness now shines as glory. And when people see you walking through storms without breaking, they will know, this one is unshakable. Your life itself becomes a sermon. Your endurance, a proclamation. The crown you carry will preach louder than words, declaring God's faithfulness through every season. The next level unlocked, that is the season you are stepping into. Everything you endured, every waiting room, every wilderness, every battle in darkness has led you here. What once felt like endless circles of trial are now revealed as the staircase of destiny. Each step was carving the path upward, and now the summit is in sight. The Apostle Paul wrote in the book of Philippians, chapter 3, verse 14, I press on toward the goal, to win the prize for which God has called me heavenward in Christ Jesus. This verse echoes in your journey. You have pressed on, not perfectly, not without faltering, but with persistence that refused to die. And now, the call is not downward, not backward, but heavenward. The next level is not simply a higher platform, it is a higher perspective, a greater alignment with the purpose that has always been written over you. Think of a climber ascending a mountain. At the base, the path is crowded with trees and shadows, but as the climber rises, the view widens. What once felt confusing in the valley becomes clear from the peak. That is the shift happening in you now. What once seemed meaningless will suddenly make sense when seen from above. There was once a chosen one who worked years in obscurity, serving quietly, unnoticed by many. She thought her labor was insignificant. Yet when the moment came, doors opened that only endurance could have prepared her for. Her years of hidden service became the very credential heaven used to lift her higher. Her next level was not a sudden promotion, it was the unveiling of what she had been built for all along. Your story mirrors hers. What felt hidden has been holy preparation. The next level is not random, it is appointed, and it will not be unlocked by striving, but by obedience. Imagine a locked chest in an ancient hall. Many try to pry it open with force, yet it never yields. Then one day, the rightful key slides into place, and with the gentlest turn, the chest opens effortlessly. That is how your next level unfolds. It is not seized by violence, but opened by divine timing. By the key of alignment you now carry. Do not fear this elevation. With every new level comes greater responsibility. Yes, but also greater grace. The same God who sustained you in the valley will strengthen you on the mountain. The view may be wider, the winds stronger, but your footing will be steady because you are anchored in Him. Think also of an eagle. While other birds scatter in storms, The eagle spreads its wings and rises higher, using the very winds that terrify others to soar. That is your portion. The storms that once tried to bury you will become the very currents that lift you higher. Chosen one. The unlocking of this next level is not just about your destiny, it is about legacy. Your obedience will ripple outward to generations, to people you may never meet, to nations you may never see. The light within you is not for one room, it is for the earth. So step forward with courage. The door is open. The crown rests. The mantle is upon you, and heaven's army surrounds you. Every tear, every scar, every battle has brought you to this threshold. The next level is not coming, it is here. And nothing, no power of darkness, no weight of the past, can lock what God Himself has opened. This is your moment. The next level is unlocked. Walk into it with unshakable faith, with eyes lifted, with heart surrendered. And as you rise, the world will see in you what heaven always declared. You are chosen. You are crowned. You are unstoppable. Chosen one. The path before you will not always be smooth, but it will always be sure. Each stone beneath your feet has been placed with intention, guiding you toward the promise prepared long ago. Do not mistake resistance as rejection. Opposition rises because the enemy fears what you now carry, but what resists you will only refine you, strengthening your resolve and sharpening your vision. Your next level is not just an elevation of position, it is an expansion of influence. You will touch lives not through grand gestures alone, but through daily faithfulness that shines like steady light in a flickering world. And when you look back from higher ground, gratitude will overwhelm you. You will see that every valley, every night of tears, every silent battle was worth it. Because it all led to this, your next level, unlocked by grace. Chosen one. We have reached the close of this message. Yet your journey is only beginning. The prophetic shift has been declared. The crown has been placed. And the next level stands unlocked before you. Every word spoken was not chance. It was heaven's reminder that you are chosen, called, and destined. If this message has touched your spirit, let your response be a ripple that carries further than you imagine. Like and share this message, not as routine, but as if you were releasing light into a darkened street. Someone you may never meet could stumble across that light and find the courage they desperately need. Comment as though you were carving your testimony into stone. Words written here do not vanish. They become monuments, reminders to you and witnesses to others that faith is alive and unshaken. Even a few words may become the spark another heart has been waiting for. Subscribe, not for numbers, but for roots. A branch cut off withers, but a branch that remains in the vine flourishes with new life. Staying connected here is choosing to remain in the flow of strength, guidance, and encouragement that heaven continues to pour out. And if your heart feels stirred, donate as an act of worship, not obligation. Picture a fire glowing on a mountainside, alone. It warms one circle of travelers, but when others add wood, the blaze grows, guiding more wanderers home. Your gift is that wood. It fuels the fire so that many more can feel its warmth. Or think of it as pouring oil into a lamp. The flame already shines, but fresh oil ensures it will never go out, guiding countless travelers through the night. No pressure, no demand, only invitation. The kingdom is built on willing hearts, not forced hands. Chosen one. Carry this truth with you. You are chosen, unshakable, crowned, and rising. And as you step into your next level, may your light ignite the world.